It is Wednesday night, July 19th, 2023. It's a Wednesday night in July for AEW Dynamite, so you know what that means. You know it's got to be blood and guts, and that's what we got tonight. We got the blood and guts match between the Golden Elite and the BCC Blackpool Combat Club that blew the roof off Boston tonight. But we had a lot more also happen on Dynamite tonight. Heck of a show. I'm Tanner Lee. Co-host Paul Zartman's in the house. Other co-host Austin Shepard will be joining us momentarily. Paul, what's going on? How are you tonight?
Glad I'm okay with seeing blood and violence, because otherwise, I probably wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah, how'd you put it again?
You want to look away, but it's like a really bad car wreck that you just can't look away from.
Yeah, there were some spots tonight that made me grimace a little bit, but there's a reason we only get one blood and guts match a year, and tonight showed why. But we will definitely get into that. That match lasted 50 minutes of the 2-hour show, but there was a lot more that happened before that. That was important to talk about heading forward as we get into this hot summer of AEW towards All In Wembley, All Out in Chicago, and then all the events after that. Majin joining in saying that was an insane main event. Holy crap. Perfect way to put it.
Yeah, no better way to put it than that right there.
I mean, we have this is the third blood and guts match we've seen in AEW, and I got to say, I think they get better each year.
Yes, they do. There was, and I'll talk about it when we get to that point in the show as well, but there was one point I thought we were going to get yet another injury in a blood and guts match this year, but turns out we didn't have that, so I'm good.
Ma just said we need one for this Outcast versus Originals feud. I was kind of wrong with my prediction. I thought we might get the first women's blood and guts match this year, but don't think we'll go in that direction, but could be wrong. But we need something to tie up that feud. Well, while we wait for Austin to join, Paul, I had so much fun quizzing you guys last week. I thought we'd do it again this week.
This all stemmed from me sending you that little "can you recognize these characters" thing, didn't it?
That, and I just came across this website about 2 weeks ago because I was bored and I like taking quizzes and I think it's a lot of fun. So let me see if I can share my screen here and we will do this again. Last week we did WWE Champions. This week we're going to do WCW World Heavyweight Champions.
Oh, you might as well just turn it off because I'm going to fail this one.
You want to see what I got on this one?
Sure, you're flickering pretty badly though.
I'm flickering.
Your shared screen is. I'm like having a hard time seeing it.
Well, let's see. Let's see if I can stop sharing my screen just for a moment so I can show you what I got. I don't know if this is going to show up on the. Let's see here. Let's see if this will show up on the webcam.
Of course you did.
Well, amazingly, I'm surprised there's only 63 champions in WCW history.
Man, this is gonna be rough. Is this another 8-minute one?
It is 8 minutes. So when you're ready, let me know. I will click play quiz and we will get this underway. This gives the date, the champion won it, and the city. So.
Ooh. All right, so I gotta get. I'm just guessing the champs, right?
Yeah, because there's certain champs that have been multi-champs. So that would go towards the 63, if I remember correctly. So It's not 63 different individuals. It's just 63 different times the championship has changed hands. So when you're ready to go, let me know.
Man, all right, let's do this.
All right.
David Arquette.
Mm-hmm.
Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm. A bunch. 8 times.
DDP.
Yep.
Lex Luger.
Good one.
Sting.
Mhm.
Vader.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
23 for 63 so far. You got over 7 minutes left. Plenty of time.
Booker T.
Yes.
This is WCW, so WWE's run with it probably doesn't count.
This is just WCW. Yes, no WWE.
So that would eliminate Benoit.
Well, excuse me. No, I stand correct on that, Paul. Never mind. Don't forget what I just said. So you want to guess Benoit?
Yeah, Benoit. Not sure if I froze or if Tanner froze. So in an attempt to hope that maybe Tanner can hear me, I'm okay. So yes, Tanner did lose connection. So hey, for a change, it wasn't me that lost connection. So I don't know if we're gonna reboot this when he gets back or not, but we'll sit there and ramble on for a few minutes. I actually have some other WCW championships or champions that I remember. So we'll see what happens when Tanner gets back. I will go ahead and pull up while we're waiting on both Tanner and Austin to come back, or well, Austin to join us and Tanner to come back. We will pull up the AEW Dynamite results from tonight's episode. Again, it was a spectacular show. So we will, that's a preview. We don't want the preview, do we? We want, as he's texting me as I'm trying to type on my phone, that always works out well. We'll go over the preview of the card while we wait on everybody to get back. I don't want to go ahead and blow them out and go through the entire thing. So if you haven't tuned in yet, Majin, I'm going to try to do this. I am working. There we go. Well, tonight I am lame. Majin. Majin is asking what I'm drinking tonight. I was going to ask Shep when he got on here, but while we're waiting on everybody tonight, I'm just drinking some good old Kool-Aid. Had my daughter make some Kool-Aid while I set up because I had to fight with a computer because my computer decided to die, which is why I do not have my normal setup tonight. I'm running off of a Samsung Galaxy tablet, which I'm hoping survives the show. We're at 54%. It says it's charging, but yeah, no, that's always fun. So tonight we are just drinking, I think, cherry Kool-Aid. I could be wrong, but Shep has joined us. So, Shep, good evening, sir.
What's going on?
Well, waiting on Tanner to figure out what he's doing.
Oh boy, is Tanner having some of that Fort Wayne internet?
He did, and I was on a roll with tonight's quiz. I was over 50%, I think.
Ooh,
Majin's following along.
Yeah.
So,
are you going to give a little bit of the heads up on this quiz?
No, I will not. I will not. But I will tell you it is. I will tell you, fun, and it is championship.
Hopefully, it's the European Championship from 1998 to 2004.
Well, that'll be easy for you.
Yep.
So, Shep, while we're waiting on Tanner, because he did pause the quiz, he said, Majin asked me before I got to ask anybody else, what are we drinking tonight, Shep?
Well, we had a long week last week. And
Yes.
then we had a long weekend. And I'm going to show you. See, we got a little issue right there.
Yeah, what'd you do?
Well, we got some stitches in the old hand. Now, it's nothing like what we saw Mox do tonight. But if you look at the hands, well, I got one hand a little bit bigger than the other. So we had a little accident with a paring knife. So it's been a little rough weekend. We had a rough week last week. We had a rough weekend. Hopefully I get some movement back in the old hand. But just in case I don't, listen, hold on. I wasn't very loud. We got our fresh,
I can hear it, though.
okay. We got our fresh bottle of the old girl. And we're gonna make a toddy with a little bit of the bubbly. You know, I mean, come on. You sponsored Chris Jericho bubbly. We're just second best thing from Chris Jericho. There we go. Yeah. I mean, in fact, if you combined all three of us, it might be better than the Ocho. Yeah, all right, maybe not. All right, so yeah, nothing special. I actually had a little bit of a special drink lined up this week, and I tried it last night, and it was absolutely awful. And so it wasn't worthy for me to try it on the pod. So I threw it in the trash and went back to Old Faithful.
Now, Tanner's given me the go ahead and start covering Dynamite. But before we do that, I do have a question. Do you have your pickles yet, or when do they ship? Do you know?
Ooh, so the pickles should be here by Saturday. Yeah.
Okay.
According to their tracking. Now, there's two orders. and here's why there's two orders. So I panicked because I was a little late on the 7 o'clock drop on a Thursday night. And I was able to order what I thought was the majority. I got it in, right? And as soon as I placed that order, 5 minutes later, I get an email saying, oh, hey, the pickles are almost gone. If you're going to order now. And I'm like, oh, my gosh, there's still pickles left. So I went back through and ordered some pickles that I didn't think I wanted, flavor-wise. And instead of ordering double jars like I did the first order, I ordered single jars. So, believe it or not, the single jars have shipped first, and the double jars that I ordered that I know I like and are badass, they shipped later, of course, right? So I got some odd flavors coming first, and we're going to give those a try, hopefully by Saturday.
All right.
Yes.
All right. Look forward to it. And, you were talking about us being almost as good as Jericho. Majin says, but not better than that Marty McSwirly, that legend.
I mean, finally, this dude's realizing that Marty's a freaking legend. I mean, finally, it only took me 6 months on this podcast to realize, to beat in this dude's head that Marty McSwirly's a legend. The stories that comes out of that dude's mouth and the cocktails was a great time.
So what you're saying is you need a Marty party, get Marty McSwirly, Marty Jannetty, and the Shep all together and have some drinks.
Definitely would drink again with Marty McSwirly. I don't know about Jannetty. I think that dude's off his rocker a little bit, isn't he?
Just a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, I like to get a little bit nuts, but I think he gets a little he's going to be out of my league.
You, I don't think, have Facebook, but I follow Marty on Facebook, and man, I'm waiting for the Dark Side of the Ring Marty Jannetty episode to drop.
Wasn't there and I could be completely off, but wasn't there a thing where he was talking about sleeping with family?
family, a mom, a daughter, possibility of somebody was unsure if the girl he was talking about was actually of legal age.
Yeah, sorry. Me and Marty Jannetty would not have a lot in common.
No. Majin wants to know how is it that Marty McSquirrely has become a regular thing here.
Because he's a legend.
And we kind of just let Shep do his thing, and he's always talking about Marty because that's the only thing about hockey he knows.
That's pretty much right, Paul.
I mean, in all fairness, I'm kind of that way with, golf. I know who our Arnold Palmer is. I know who Tiger Woods is.
I mean, Arnold Palmer invented a great drink, and then John Daly turned that drink into a cocktail. So there you go.
I remember when Michael Jordan played golf.
Yeah.
In between baseball and basketball.
Yeah. He never played professional golf, but whatever.
No.
We'll let him do what he has to do.
He did sink a nice putt that sucked him down into the Toon World.
It's true. So let's talk about this quiz, Paul.
What about it?
What am I getting myself into?
I will say one thing. It involves Ric Flair. Only clue I'm giving you.
Okay, well, that narrows it down to WWF/E Intercontinental Champion, original WCW champion, NWA championship. Well, we already talked about the WWF championship. I think Flair did hold that European championship at one point. So yeah, that narrows it down. Thanks a lot, Paul.
I could have been mean and thrown you off and said, something completely unrelated to anything, but I've tried to be nice to you.
So here's an honest question. This has nothing to do with professional wrestling.
Okay.
How's it you and I live in the good old small town USA, right?
Yeah.
And Big Boy now he comes right when I called him out. I say Big Boy Tanner lives in Fort Wayne, Indiana, Mr. Internet capital of the world, and we have internet and he doesn't. Hi, Tanner.
Xfinity, man. It's been a problem lately. Really bad.
They spend too much money on sponsoring race cars than they do.
Oh, my God. I just told my fiance I'm getting a new router tomorrow. This has happened so many times the last 2 weeks. I don't know how we're going to continue this quiz, Paul.
I don't know. Without us going the route you were going to, which is somebody leaves the podcast.
Do I need to go on mute real quick while Paul finishes so I don't cheat?
Yeah, mute.
Right. Hold on.
I can mute you. I don't know, but I don't know if you might be able to see the answers though.
Go make a couple drinks, Jeff. Give me about 5 minutes and come back.
We'll try this. All right. Sorry about that, everybody. This is technical difficulties at its finest. Whoa.
Hey.
I don't know why I did that.
Well, it says I failed.
Well, we're going to have to...
I was doing so good.
We'll restart the quiz, Paul. Hopefully you can remember your answers. I don't know how else to do it because I don't know what just happened. All right, you ready?
Yeah. Where'd you go again? Did you freeze again, Tanner? Jeez, I don't think he's going to be able to give this quiz. He doesn't want anybody to get that 63 out of 63 with him again. So I'm going to text Tanner real quick and let him know he froze because his head's not moving. Nothing's moving. I don't know. All right, I'm lagging in my talking because I'm trying to text everybody and get at least Shep to come back and join us here. So there we go. He's gone.
What happened to Tanner?
He failed again.
Wait a minute. I thought Tanner was giving the quiz. Oh, his internet failed is what you meant.
Same thing.
Okay.
Same thing.
I did see towards the end there, so I was close. It is the WCW Championship. Oh man, there's got to be. I didn't look. Is there a year span on this? Because would that start in the early '90s, right?
Start to finish, there's 63 names on there.
So that would be 90. What? 93? 94?
Well, I'm on a tablet tonight, so I couldn't see very well what it said. I just knew what was going on.
I think it was 92 because Hogan came over in 93 or 4, right?
Yes.
When they did the whole Disney blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just call it 91, 92 when they changed it till 2001. Is that when the last Nitro was? When's the last Nitro with Sting and
2001?
Okay, so all right, so there's almost 10 years, right? No, there's longer than that.
10 years, 91 to 01 would be 10.
Yeah, 10, 11 years. So, all right. Well, there's some good ones in there. I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So 10 years, 63 different dudes.
I was at 29 to 63 with like 6 minutes, almost 6 minutes remaining when it froze the first time. And then he hit continue and it just wiped out the time real quick. And then he froze again when he restarted it. He has notified me that he is resetting his router right now in hopes that helps.
He's back, baby.
Hi.
I have no idea.
Scrap the quiz. Shep figured it out.
Well, I figured it out, but I think that's harder than what we did last week.
I got 100% on the WCW one.
You got 100% of the 63?
Mm-hmm. Well, see, it's only 63 times the belt changed hands. It's not 63 guys.
Man, I was letting him think that there were 63 names.
Oh, wow.
I wish I could get it back up. You guys could take turns, but I'm afraid if I do that again, it's good. My Wi-Fi's could go out again.
Well, I mean, you could start it again and let Shep take a crack at it. And if it does it again, Shep and I will go on with the show and I'll just sit here quietly.
Well, let's see if I can. Maybe third time's a charge.
Majin says you cheated. That's how you got 100%.
I did not.
All right, stop the quiz, Tanner. You started glitching again.
I haven't even shared anything. I haven't even shared anything.
He's not glitching on my end, Paul.
Oh man, his hand's like still stuck up in the air, bouncing back and forth. That's what it did before he disappeared last time.
Now it's you, Paul.
Hey, that's why I thought it was me earlier, because that's what he started doing, and then everything. I was still here. I stopped talking because I didn't know who froze, and Majin was nice enough to say, "I think Tanner did."
This is a shit show tonight. That's all I gotta say. Man, all right, one more attempt at this. Stupid thing. All right, so who's playing?
Shep.
You want me to go?
Ready?
All right, 8 minutes.
Yep.
All right, here we go. Ric Flair.
Mm-hmm.
Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Sting.
Mm-hmm.
Luger.
Mm-hmm.
David Arquette.
Yep.
Vince shit-faced. What's his name? Vince. Never mind. You're not gonna give me that one, are you?
No, I'm not, because I know what it is. But
oh God. Anyways, Wow. Drawn Booker T. Benoit. Jeff Jarrett.
A bunch of
Uh,
times.
Yeah, a bunch of times old Jeff. Macho Man.
Hmm.
Vince Russo. Sorry,
There you go.
that came a little later.
The worst. September 25th, 2000. What a
Yes.
day.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Yeah.
Um,
And I don't know if you can see on there, Shep. It gives you the dates they won it. I don't know if you can see that on shared screen.
No. Dusty Rhodes.
No.
Oh no, it was only NWA. Harley Race.
No.
That was close.
The oldest one's 91. That was Flair at 91.
Okay. Giant, or yeah, they called him the Giant, right?
Yep.
The Giant, yeah. Diamond Dallas Page.
Yep.
Man, I'm trying to read those dates in there. Those are small.
You got 3 dates in 92, 1 in 93,
Boy, the 92 ones are going to be tough.
2 in 98, 1 in 99.
Barry Windham?
No.
No? Okay. Man. Did I say Benoit already?
Yes, you did.
All right. Kevin Nash?
Yep.
Okay.
You have 48 out of 63 with about 5 minutes left.
That's a lot of time to think. Trying to think of the old NW. Type it in there, but I don't think it happened. Mysterio. He was WWE, wasn't he?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
And like I told Paul, this is WCW champions.
WCW champions. So this is it quit when that belt went to WWE.
Not necessarily.
Oh.
Because there was a couple WCW champions in 01 over in WWE.
All right.
You already got one of those.
Triple H.
No, he was the world heavyweight champion.
But he carried that belt.
But there was actually a couple WCW champions.
All right. Did I already say Benoit?
Yes, you did.
All right. I already said Benoit. I already said Jericho. I said Jericho, right?
No, you didn't. But
Jericho.
That is one of them. That is one of them.
Jericho.
You got Booker T. That was one of them. There's 2 others in the WWE that you haven't got yet. But all the rest are WCW.
Cena?
I'll type it in, but I know it wasn't Cena.
Okay. Eddie Guerrero?
No.
Angle?
Kurt Angle?
Okay. There's one of them. I got one. Lesnar?
No.
No.
So the one in the WWE you are missing is November 5th, 2001. All the rest are WCW.
Okay. Trying to think. Let's go back to the old WCW. Already said Jeff Jarrett, didn't I? Yeah, I already said him. Man, those are early.
Yeah, you got 2. You got 3 in 92, 1 in 93.
What about Ron Simmons?
Good pull, Shep. Yep, he's one of the 92s.
Okay. I like Ron Simmons there. That was a good one.
Yeah, 52 out of 63 with 2.5 minutes left.
Man. Vader?
Good poll.
Okay.
So you got the old days. So now you got 1 in 98, 2 in 99, 1 in 2000, and 2001.
So
And remember, this is the time, the title changed hands. So it's not 7 different guys you got to name here. 8 different guys.
Karl Malone.
No.
Did he not get in? I thought he was in the middle of that. Was it Shaq then? One of those guys got that.
Rodman and Malone were in it, but they didn't win. They didn't win the title.
That was when Diamond Dallas won it.
Yeah.
All right, so we got that. All right.
You're missing one that you're gonna kick yourself if you don't get it.
I'm probably
2 actually.
Just a diehard WCW person that was there the whole time. Canyon?
I don't even know. I know that's not. Yeah, that's
all
not.
right. I didn't think they gave him
a little over a minute left.
I already said that. Oh man, I've slept since then.
I know.
I was 19 years old back then.
Under a minute left.
I already threw that out. Scott Hall never was he?
No, should have been, but never was.
No, he was never one. It wouldn't have been Raven? Maybe? No.
Nope. 25 seconds.
That beat Paul though.
Well, to be fair, Paul had like 6 minutes left when the thing kicked him off, and he was doing pretty well. So I don't know if he wants another stab at it or what's going to happen. 6 seconds.
Yeah, I got nothing.
David
Flair.
We got Bret Hart, Sid Vicious, Goldberg, Scott Steiner, The Rock.
Okay, Goldberg's on me.
Bret Hart.
I forgot about Bret Hart because Goldberg killed him.
Sid Vicious, that was WCW 2000, and Steiner was 2000, and The Rock was in WWE. He was the first WCW champion.
All right. I mean, I
don't 55 out of 63, so you got 87%.
I'll take that. There was a couple.
Yeah.
I forgot about old Psycho Sid and then the Steiners. Even though we got a reminder of the Steiners with MJF running around the ring and getting on all fours during the intro. But
Paul, did you want another crack at it, or did you hear that whole thing?
No, I muted everything and I actually walked away. I'll take another crack at it.
All right, let me pull it back up here. Shep just gave you some free answers, so
that's true. I did.
Yeah, well,
it's okay.
I won't use them right away.
All right, hopefully this works just like it did. All right, Paul, fire away.
David Arquette.
Yep.
Flair.
Yep.
I'm going to go with the one that broke it to get it right out of the way. Benoit. Kevin Nash.
Yep.
DDP.
Yep.
Hogan.
Yep.
Jericho.
Yes, and in WWE he was.
All right. Ray? No, that would have been too late.
Correct.
Booker T.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Simmons.
Good poll.
Bret Hart.
Good poll. That's one Shep missed.
Okay, that's only fair because I missed Flair last week. So
yeah.
Sting.
Yep.
Trying to remember the ones I had. before it crashed, but I'm doing better than I did last time. So, did Angles count, or was Angles too late?
You got Angle, yep.
Okay, so at that point, The Rock.
Yep, there's one Shep missed.
Um,
You're done with the WWE guys. Just to let you know.
okay. Did I already say DDP?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
You didn't say Bob Backlund yet.
Oh, we're not going to do that. Don't do that to me, okay? I'm trying to remember everything. Well, Steiner, you said Steiner, so we'll go Steiner.
Yep, Scott Steiner.
I got a minute. I'm taking a drink.
Oh, you got plenty of time. You're 44 of 63 with 5:45 left.
Yeah, I remember more WCW than I thought I did. So
I was surprised there's only 63 title changes in WCW history.
Oh, your boy, Goldberg.
That is one Shep missed.
And I hope he never comes back.
Yeah. Lex Luger.
Yep.
47. The Giant.
Yep. I'm going to figure out how to make my shared screen bigger for you guys one of these weeks. I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm sitting here trying to make sure I don't go over a name I already did. Vader.
There you go.
Really?
Yep. So just to let you know, Paul, you have all the rest remaining are 99s and 2000s. And 96. There's one in 96. Excuse me.
Double J.
Yep. So you have one on January 22nd, 1996. April 19th, 1998. I didn't see that one a second ago. July 11th, 99. January 24th, 2000. January 25th, 2000. And September 25th, 2000.
Savage.
He's already beat me, right?
He has now.
Okay.
Now I'm going to see if he can tie me.
You're missing shit stain.
Hey.
Okay.
Oh, Vince Russo. Thanks for that, Jeff. Because I forgot he won it. God, who have I?
You're on your own now.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. There's 2 title changes missing, and I'm trying to think. We're done with the WWE guys. And I said Sting. I said Vader. God, it's so small. I can't see. Did I say
That's what she
Nash?
said.
I'm trying to. Did I get these ones, Tanner?
No.
No. Okay. I'm trying to think of the people I didn't get. Then
3 minutes, Paul.
Did I say Nash?
You said Nash.
I said Nash. Oh, Sid Vicious. Have I said him yet?
There you go. Paul just scored 100.
well, I mean, I helped him.
Yes, you did.
Yeah. Okay. To be fair, it would have been what 62 out of 63. Yeah. I wouldn't have gotten Russo. Yes. I'll own up to that.
All right. Good job, fellas.
You watched way more WCW than I did. Or you
remember. We talked about this. I actually had a TV that had picture-in-picture, so I had both during the Monday Night Wars, both on the screen. You can't forget Arquette because Arquette still talks about it to this day.
I mean, he made a movie about it.
Yeah.
I showed Paul before you joined Shep that I got 63 out of 63 when I did it. I got it with 10 seconds left. The one I was missing was Bret Hart because I like you. I forgot that he won it.
Yeah, the one I really kicked myself is Goldberg.
But he only won it once. But he held it for so long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens when you've got a 1,000,000-0 record.
Yeah, true.
So that the next one will even be harder if you do a tag team where there's individuals.
Oh, I can find all. I've seen tag teams, intercontinental, world heavyweight. There's all sorts of ones. There's AEW ones out there, but they're not very difficult. I don't think, because the history's only not even 4 years old yet.
Oh,
So.
ECW would be a good one.
ECW would be fun. I tried a TNA one and failed miserably.
I would too.
That was really hard.
I would say AJ Styles, Samoa Joe, Kurt Angle, Jeff Jarrett. Then
Yeah, pretty much.
Then you're on.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do that one someday, but I'll let you guys know. I threw Christopher Daniels out there thinking he had won at one time. Nope.
No, the only world heavyweight championship he's ever won is ROH.
That's crazy too. It's crazy.
And I remember when they put the belt on him, and it was in Vegas, and it was a big deal, and he did not keep the belt very long.
Yeah.
But hey, did we have like a Dynamite or something tonight?
Yeah, I had no idea what you guys talked about when my internet went out early. So did you guys cover it at all?
What Jeff was drinking?
We made
Okay.
fun of you.
Well, I forgot. Well, that's typical. Since the boys were in Boston tonight, I got a little Boston Lager, Samuel Adams. So
Now, back, I'll give you a little Samuel Adams experience for me. Not a big Boston Lager fan, but I tell you what, and I used to drink it back in the day, and it actually was.
I'll be right back.
all right.
Now you bring it up. They make a Samuel Adams cherry wheat.
I've seen it. I've never had it though.
Oh,
Pretty good.
like I first it was introduced like as a dessert beer instead of wine or cognac or whatever the hell y'all drink.
Mhm.
Dude, I could sit there and fire up the grill and drink a 6-pack of those ice cold really, really quick.
I like their Oktoberfest too, but that's only in the fall, of course.
Yeah. So Sammy Adams cherry wheat, that's good for the Boston Lager.
Yeah, I went to the store today. I'm like, what's Boston beer? Oh, Boston Lager. Yeah, it's cheap too. Oh, I'll take that.
Might as well get you some Sammy Adams.
Yeah, it was on sale too, so that convinced me. But yes, it seems like the intro of this podcast was many moons ago. But
We're
like I said,
43 minutes in.
yeah, like I said before you joined, we had blood and guts tonight, but of course we had some good stuff before that as well. And it started tonight with the FTW Championship match between Hook, who's undefeated, versus Jack Perry. And I like how Jack Perry's Tarzan Boy hits. The crowd's kind of chanting with it, not really, getting some boos. And then we see a video package on the Jumbotron showing him what looks like burying his old self.
Welcome Hollywood Jack Perry.
Hollywood Jack Perry and the Jungle Boy has dropped. Interesting theme music, though.
Yeah.
Beethoven.
Mm-hmm.
When I saw this, I'm like, I saw him dragging the boots into the grave, and then a limo shows up. I'm like, all right, we got Hollywood Jack Perry.
Mm-hmm.
The music was a little odd,
Mm-hmm.
but he came out all black gear, played the perfect role. So I'm okay. I'm okay with it. I'm okay with how he won the belt. I'm okay with the way Hook lost. I thought it was well done.
Yeah, we got a couple ref bumps out of Paul Turner. We got a low blow out of Jack Perry to Hook. And then we got a belt shot. And that's how, the belt shot's how Jack won the FTW championship off of Hook and gave Hook his first loss in AEW.
And it wasn't clean, so that's great. I love it.
Wasn't clean. Keep getting heat on Jack Perry. I think they're going to try to get him to Callis level heat, or maybe even, I don't know if they could get to this, but Dominic Mysterio heat.
They're close.
Yeah.
And I love the way Taz was after the match on commentary. He was flustered.
Yep.
I thought he played it up really well.
I thought commentary was
Drop the
fantastic
F-bomb.
tonight. Yep. I thought commentary was awesome tonight.
Except the guy wearing the mask.
Oh, Excalibur's growing on you, just like pockets.
He is. He's getting better and better, but he still wears a stupid mask.
Well, we then got Paul's favorite, Alex Marvez, backstage chasing down a cameraman like always, trying to get video of Chris Jericho and Callis having a meal, looking at some photos with the security guard standing by. We then headed over to another great video package, MJF and Madam Cole having some dinner. They're eating some Chinese food, and MJF saying he doesn't really like spicy food, but he'll do it. They're eating some spicy chicken, and and then he's thinking he's drinking water. And he's just downing it, and the guy goes, "That's not water. That's 100% alcohol." And then they take some shots at Guevara and Daniel Garcia and told some stories. I mean, man, these two are just gold.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I texted you this, Tanner, because Chef, you were a little behind at this point still. I said, you know what? I want these guys to go all the way and win the gold just to keep seeing stuff like this every week.
The good thing out of this is we don't get a tag match till the 29th of July.
Next Saturday, yep.
So we have roughly 10 days. But I know that's not a long time, but we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to have 4 television shows to build this feud. Okay? I can get on board with that. If they do something the next 4 television shows and have vignettes, videos, confrontations between the 4 of them, this could be really, really good.
Well, we got one tonight that we'll talk about here in a minute. But first, we got our one and only women's match of the night. Paul texted me. Didn't know it was 9:30 already when it was about 8:30. We got Adam Cole's girlfriend, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, versus Kayla Sparks. Pretty short match. Baker delivered a sling blade and then a big boot. Or Sparks delivered a boot, but Baker landed a suplex, twisting neck breaker, and then clinched into lockjaw for the win. Not a lot of time for the women tonight.
No.
Squash.
We then saw Garcia and Sammy come down to the ring, but Jericho unexpectedly came out. Crowd was singing his music, but he asked for it to be cut off. They kept singing it even louder, but then he joined the commentary. Adam Cole and MJF headed down, and they're wearing the same jacket this week, but MJF did tell Cole earlier in the night he had another surprise for him. It was a mashup of their 2 theme songs.
I thought you were going to skip that for a minute. I was going to say, you're missing a big video package here.
I know it. But yes, like we were just mentioning, MJF and Adam Cole end up getting the win in a pretty good match. They finally hit the double clothesline. Who would have thought that a month ago the double clothesline would be the most over move in wrestling? After the match got pretty interesting, though. Jericho tried to meet Garcia and Guevara on the ramp. He applauded them, but the pair just split and walked right past them. Jericho then stormed after them. Adam Cole then grabbed MJF's title to hand it to him, but he kind of looked at it like, I still want this thing. MJF became mad, snatched it out of his hand, asked him what he's doing. Cole calmed him down, and the crowd started chanting, hug it out, and they hugged it out. Then MJF glared at Cole, though, while his back was turned. And then FTR's music hits, and I'm thinking, they're Collision guys. They come out, get into the ring, and they stare down Cole and MJF, and it got a little tense because FTR and MJF don't get along.
No, there was what, 2 altercations. They got into it, walked away.
Mm-hmm.
Dax looked in the camera and said, "Tony, play my music. We're the champions."
Yep,
like that. Then he turned around, went back, and got into the face of MJF. And Cash, if you notice, Cash got back up to the apron like, "Oh, we better get back in the ring." And then Dax, rolled away. But
yeah, they got some real heat. I mean, back when Dax had his podcast with Matt Kuhn, he talked about not really liking MJF through the whole Pinnacle thing. So this could be interesting.
No, Dax does not hold anything back, and he's about as real as you get. So you either, I guess I look at it as an MJF point compared to Dax. I would consider Dax more of a veteran than MJF.
Yep.
Experience and age. So if you're MJF, you play it up and you go have a match and make some money and put all the other feelings aside.
Yep. And they will.
Kind of what I want the CMFTR versus the Elite to do eventually sometime.
Mm-hmm. Then after the break, we started the Blood and Guts. Claudio Castagnoli was the first one down to the ring. Kenny Omega followed. I always like how it's just one by one in this match. Then after that, who was next in the ring? Pac was next, so it was 2-on-1 for a while against Kenny. And then Hangman came in to even up the size. Then Yuta. Then it was Nick Jackson. Then it was Moxley came in before Yuta. Moxley, then Yuta.
Yuta.
Then it was
Matt.
Matt. Then Takeshita, and then Kota Ibushi. So lost my train of thought. I was trying to do it without reading notes.
So just even though before we get to the final part of this match,
Yeah.
early on in that match, there was tensions between Claudio and Pac.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously we're going to get Claudio and Pac on Friday, Death Before Dishonor, right?
Yep. Which we are not doing predictions for because they literally have not put a card together.
Well, there was a card, then it changed with injuries
Yeah.
and whatnot. So the champion's going to be a little bit wimpy.
Yep. I'm going to weasel out of this one.
And
I'll admit it.
move on.
I'll admit it. But
You,
a lot of
you
good.
skip the video package, Tanner.
What video package?
The best friends. Well, okay. Backstage.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Statlander, Best Friends, Nick Wayne, and Darby, and a bunch of matches announced for Rampage Friday, basically.
Which Darby and Nick Wayne are in the, what do they call it? Rampage Royal Rampage.
Yeah, and the winner of that gets a TNT shot at All Out. Not All In, All Out. So, in September. So, that's a little ways away. But
20 guys, 2 rings, right?
Yep.
Which will we get the spoilers in the morning, and I don't know about you guys. I read them right away.
I typically do too. And then the only thing announced for Collision is House of Black's going to defend the trios against the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass, and all the rest is going to be announced Friday.
Did I see Acclaimed and Daddy Ass have a match on Rampage too?
Against QTV.
Yep.
So how do you give them a championship match if I don't know. Never mind.
They've been doing that a lot lately where they wrestle Friday and Saturday, or Friday and Saturday. Yeah. But yeah, before we get into the ending of this match, what were some of your guys' favorite spots from this match? Because there were so many good ones.
Mox in the glass.
Whew.
Well, I'm not saying it's my favorite spot, but it was just a wow moment.
Mm-hmm. And everybody went through it.
Was it Nick dropping the thumbtacks from the roof?
Matt.
Sorry.
I've never seen that done. That was cool.
No, that was cool.
And him doing the Northern Light suplexes, threatening to go off the cage, and then he dropped the tacks.
The nail, the bed of nails got me.
Oof. Anybody get Justin Roberts taking pictures?
Out of all the bed and nail spots, the worst was when he had Kenny's hand pinned.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That was worse, I think, than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Now, it just looked bad.
That was a great shot, though. He's pressing down Kenny's hand and flipping Kota off as Kota's getting in the ring, and he's just a bloody mess. Moxley bled buckets tonight.
Well, he had blood. He bled blood coming out of the back of his head, the front of his head.
Yeah, Majin's saying Yuta almost got Northern suplex off the cage. I thought Yuta was going off the cage.
I thought somebody was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anybody, might as well be Yuta.
Because Guevara went off last year, Jericho the year before that.
The year before, yeah.
Oh.
So
Jericho and padding, though.
Yeah, they had the bad camera angle at Daly's place.
I thought this match was overall good. With Takeshita and Pac leaving, it made the finish more believable.
Yep.
So I'm okay with it. And I think that set up Pac and Cannoli,
Yep.
Castanole for Friday, and then it also set up Takeshna with the whole Don Callis
family. Yep.
Thing separating itself from the BCC. So
Yep.
again, I'm okay with all that.
Yep. Yep. And then at the end, we saw the Golden Elite go over and get the win. They had Yuta hung by a chain, pretty much choking the life out of him. Moxley was handcuffed. Claudio was taken out, and Moxley gave up for the team to save Yuta. Which they said that like 2 or 3 times. They were really pounding that home.
That Moxley is the one that said that. Yeah.
Yep. So,
and then if you notice, the last camera angle was Moxley just kind of resting in the corner with his handcuff, just like look, all right, somebody hook me so I can go back and have a non-alcoholic beverage.
Sean Ross Sapp said after the show went off the air, Kenny got on the mic, said that the Elite respect BCC, and they all shook hands. So the feud's probably done, which it needs to be. It's been going on. Really, I was thinking about this today. Really, the show we were at in November in Indianapolis, the show after Full Gear, kind of kicked this whole rivalry off because it was Hangman and Mox got into it that night. And that kind of kicked off the start of the Elite BCC rivalry. So it's been really going on since November. So, yeah, but I thought it was good. I thought it was the best of the 3 blood and guts matches they've done so far.
Yeah, and commentary even mentioned that. They said, each year it just gets better and bloodier, which I don't think you can beat last year's blood. There was a lot last year.
Yeah, Cool Hand Ange last year was bleeding buckets, hung upside down. But I will say, I thought this Boston crowd was one of the best, if not the best, Dynamite crowds of the year. I thought they were really hot tonight.
That was a big arena for AEW.
That's where the Celtics play. That was the first time they've ran that.
That's a bigger arena for AEW. So to see it packed like that and hot, it was good.
Yeah, I'm going to see what the ticket sales ended up being here. Let's go to our friend here. Tickets. Of course, now I can't find it.
Yeah, of course not. Mm-hmm.
Well, while I look that up, do you guys have any other thoughts on the Blood and Guts match for the show tonight before we get into our ratings and rest of the night?
I do like that they gave the Blood and Guts match, 55 minutes?
Yeah. 50,
I know we had
55.
some long entrance there to start, but if you're going to have that type of caliber of wrestlers, main event guys, if you're going to put them all together, you need to give them every bit of that 50 to 55 minutes. So,
Oh, absolutely, and it delivered the whole time too.
Yeah. So if you think about it, you had 55 minutes of that. You had Hangman and MJF, which was an entertaining, over the top spot, and then you let off the match with Jack Perry and Hook, which Hook is over as all get out. This was a pretty, I know there was very few matches because one match took an hour. Right. This is a pretty damn loaded Dynamite.
Sure was.
This
sure was.
Again, we're lucky we get some loaded ass Dynamites that we do not have to pay for.
Right.
So I thought it was a great show.
I did too.
Even though it was not 2 hours long and we only had 4 matches, but
that's what you're going to get going into it with a Blood and Guts, and it's. And I was telling Paul before you got on the pod, there's a reason they only do 1 Blood and Guts a year because it's so violent, takes so much out of the guys. Yeah, it looked like the setup tonight, according to WrestleTix, this was 3 hours ago. The setup tonight was for 9,737. They had 8,919 tickets distributed, so only 818 tickets went unsold tonight. So pretty good crowd.
Well, and out of those 800 tickets, I'm sure some of those were comped.
Yep. And that was 3 hours ago, so that would I guess Dynamite would have started by then, wouldn't it? So yeah, but good crowd, all in all tonight. Rating for tonight. Do we do rating or wrestler first? See, I can't even remember which one we do first. Rating usually, I think.
Rating.
Yeah, rating.
I'm gonna go first because I think I'm gonna shock you guys a little bit with this rating. I'm going 8.1.
All right, I can get behind that. I am higher than you. I am coming in at 8.8.
Well, I mean, Paul, I know we live close to Michigan, so you're probably a little higher than me.
No, I'm kidding.
Well, I teased it last week, and I think I'm going there. I don't know if I've ever. I think I went this high one other time. I'm going 9-1.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this show. I thought it delivered. I know it was different, but there's really nothing I can complain about.
Yeah, the 9s are aggressive.
Majin said, "Holy, you guys are in the 8s.
Yeah, I was.
Tanner's in the 9s."
I thought I was being aggressive at 8.1. I really did.
Yeah, last week, I think I went like 8-7 or 8-8 last week, so I was teasing this week being even better and really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. Wrestler tonight.
Go ahead, Paul.
All right. Well, we get this question from Majin, so I'm going to answer it here because I already had this picked out. Adam Cole, and not Adam Cole and MJF. I'm going Adam Cole for those the ability to just dance like that. Shep, I'm doing that at Tanner's wedding if you want to join me.
Paul, you go for it.
I can't wait to see that on social media. You know what, Paul? You and I think a lot alike because out of that main event we got, said I'm not going with any of those guys. I was going with MJF. So the reason I'm going MJF was the match tonight plus the little vignette we got beforehand with him and Adam with the Chinese joint and the Mai Tais. I'm guessing those are Mai Tais. They look like Mai Tais. So that dude is just so entertaining.
He is.
He's good in the ring. I'm not gonna say he's phenomenal. He's not a Rock. He's not a Ric Flair. He's not a Shawn Michaels. He's not a those guys. But that dude is thoroughly so entertaining. I would rather watch that than another, 10 minutes of that blood and guts match. So my rest of the night, MJF.
He was hilarious. So I love when he runs the ropes and then he stops and just puts his arms up.
Yeah.
And then when he finally did do the dive and he looked at the camera like, holy shit. And the crowd starts shit, holy shit.
The dive was amazing.
Jericho. That's the loudest pop for a tope since 92.
Yeah.
Jericho needs to be on commentary like full time. I would be all for it.
He was pretty good tonight. And also, I cracked that Shivani when they had the shark for Shark Week. And Shivani's giving high five. And Shivani's literally dancing. And Taz is trying not to laugh. And Taz is like, get this shark away from me. I'm not in the mood. They were good. I agree with both your picks. I also agree with what you said about the main event. It's hard to pick one guy out of that. Though you can make a strong case for Kota Ibushi. Pretty impressive in his AEW debut, which I haven't seen anything about All Elite graphic with him yet. So I'm going to go with Jack Perry.
All right.
Won the FTW title, even though he didn't do it cleanly, and gave Hook his first loss. So,
and not a bad pick. The reason I didn't go with him because I'm still not sold on him being a heel. Because a heel, to me, you have to be able to talk.
Yeah,
and I think that's his weak spot right now.
Yeah, the ball's in his court now. He's got to run with it.
Yeah. So not wishing any ill will on him, but he's got to step up that little heelish talk on the mic, which he's going to get some vignettes here coming down the road. So.
Interesting fact about the FTW title in AEW is changed hands every single July.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll see how often he defends it. And I have a feeling we're not done with the Jack Perry Hook rivalry just yet. So
could you see, and I don't know his health and shape, could you see Taz coming back for one more match?
That'd be fun. It'd be fun.
That would be fun.
But I'd almost rather see him come in just for like a spot or give him one suplex or something.
Yeah.
But
that, or you could have Well, you could have oh man, you could have Hook and Taz versus Jungle Boy, and obviously we're going to say Christian right off the bat. Or what about a Paul White? What about a Mark Henry?
I know Mark Henry. They asked him about it on Busted Open not too long ago. He gave a weird answer. It's like because at first when he came to AEW he was interested, and now he's not so interested in wrestling another match. He said it had to be perfect scenario. But Paul White I think is, but he's got to get healthy.
Mm-hmm.
Captain
And I think,
Insano.
from what I've been seeing, it'll be his Captain Insano.
Might as well. So, any other thoughts on Dynamite?
Fantastic show. Looking forward to seeing that tag title match next Saturday.
Well, speaking of Collision, we saw a heck of a tag title match this past Saturday. 2 out of 3 falls, FTR and Bullet Club Gold. That's not only my tag team match of the year, that's up there for match of the year for me. That match was awesome.
Yes, it was.
Was it 55 or 58 minutes?
Yeah.
Hour and 5 into the shows when the final bell rang.
It just tells you how good FTR is bringing a non-tag team and putting those guys together and telling one hell of a story.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it that I would bet you a $20 bill that when they're backstage talking about this match over a shot of tequila, Dax goes, "Look, you guys are going over the first fall, and we're gonna battle our way back for the last 2 falls."
Imagine saying here, match of the year, question mark, over either Omega versus Ospreay. I don't know about that. No, I said you could make a case, but I wouldn't put it over Omega Ospreay, but I would say it's definitely tag team match of the year for me, at least.
Well, if we're talking match of the year, doesn't matter what promotion, because we're
right.
I would say the only match better than what we saw Saturday on Collision was Omega Ospreay back at Wrestle Kingdom in January.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that match was a little bit different, a little bit better than what we saw at Forbidden Door.
Yeah.
Not that Forbidden Door was bad. Those guys kicked the living tar out of each other and it was great. But it's always better the first time around.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I would go, if we're going to go match of the years, I'm going January's Omega Ospreay versus Collision's Bullet Club Gold versus FTR. Those 2 matches right now should be the top 2 matches of the year.
And you brought up an interesting point, Shep, in our group text message that Jay White didn't take either pin either.
Yeah.
And I didn't catch that at first until you brought it up.
Yeah, I thought that was they had old Juice taking both pins, which I think Jay White could be a top level heel.
Yep.
But I don't see him fitting in the title picture yet. But you gotta keep him there,
mm-hmm.
whether it's 6 months now or a year now. You got to keep him there.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what they do with Bullet Club Gold now, because this feud didn't hurt them at all, even though they lost. This accelerates them. And you got the Guns, too, with them. So what are they going to do now? Because in Juice Robinson, he's kind of Mr. Saturday Night. He's wrestled on every single Collision so far. So, yeah, it'll be interesting.
I thoroughly like Juice Robinson and Jay White. I really do.
Me too. I was bummed at first with how they were using Jay White, but now, since Collision started, they've been using him pretty well.
Yeah.
We also got a women's match, Toni Storm and Taya Valkyrie, which got interrupted by storms and satellite connection troubles and a whole bunch of things going on there. And we also got Ricky Starks winning the Owen Hart Cup over CM Punk by cheating, and then he took the trophy right out of Juice and Liger's hands. That was really weird.
Yeah.
So we got to get a little heel turn.
That's what I'm thinking.
Which man, I thought he was just getting over as a face,
Yep.
and he does the rope hold.
I told you he was going to win. Told you he's going to win.
No, and I agree with him winning because I feel like this is a tournament to boost the younger talent. And let's be honest, Punk's not a younger talent. So I 100% agree with him going over. The holding of the rope and then ripping the trophy out of Liger's hands, who made a he made a comment. I'm flying all the way over to make an appearance, and he was on the screen for a whole 35 seconds.
If that.
Yeah. I don't know what Tony Khan paid him, but I mean, good for him, I guess. But he was there. He was there holding the trophy, and then he was gone.
And Willow Nightingale went over Ruby, so Ruby loses yet again in the finals of a tournament 3 times now.
I agree with Willow going over. I think Willow's a hell of a talent. The only problem with her going over Ruby is I think Ruby is the best thing the outsiders, outcasts, what are they called?
Outcast. Yeah.
Outcast. I think she's the best thing they got going.
I do too.
Yeah.
I think her mic skills have improved tremendously, and I think she's the best one of the group. So it sucks that, Willow went over her, but again, I think Willow right now is riding a high. I know she won that New Japan title because Mercedes got hurt, and she held it for about a month, and then she dropped it. But it didn't hurt her.
No.
And then she comes in and beats Athena, which we're going to see her and Athena on Friday night, which I could 100% see her going over Athena.
Yep. Which I'd be fine with that. Get Athena back on Wednesday nights or Saturday nights.
Which you saw, did you see Athena take to social media saying the reason she's on ROH is because people think she's too rough on Dynamite? I don't know if that's just her making a shoot or her just trying to rouse some stuff up, but
Majin says no way. I'm assuming he's talking about Ruby being the strong point of the Outcast because I know he's a big Saraya fan. I don't know. He's gonna have to clarify what he means. No way there.
All Saraya does is walk down the ramp, flip people off, and put.
I wish she wrestled more.
And maybe she's not wrestling more because she's fragile. I mean, let's be honest. She had a neck injury and.
Yeah, probably why we haven't seen the blood and guts in the women's yet, because I don't know if Saraya could withstand a match like that.
Which I did see on Twitter. This is kind of, you were talking about blood and guts, and it made me think of it. Danielson tweeted an update. He had like 9 screws put in his arm. He's already started recovery. He's at home watching tonight. So he was disappointed to miss it 2 years in a row. So he's supposed to be in a back-to-back years, and he's got hurt.
9 screws.
Yeah. Yep. So,
I mean, as much as we like that dude, I would say if we get another 2 to 5 years out of him, we're lucky.
Oh yeah, I think we need to appreciate every time he's in the ring anymore.
Yeah.
Majin says he feels Tony's the best of the group, no matter how big of a Saraya fan he is. Okay, she's really good in the ring.
She is, but Ruby's the talker of the bunch.
She is.
Which she shocked us about 3-4 weeks ago. We talked about this. She grabbed the mic and had a really great promo, and we're like, wait, where did that come from?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's and I'm interested to see where they go with Punk. I'm assuming it's going to be a Punk Joe feud. I'm assuming without Collision in 2 weeks ago, but we'll see. We'll see. And do you guys think the Acclaimed and Daddy Ass go over House of Black on Saturday night?
Yes. It's time for
much as I'd like them to.
It's as much as they've buried those titles, because when's the last time we actually talked about them? It's been a while.
Mm-hmm. They've had it since Revolution. I believe.
Yeah.
So it's been since February. So it's probably about time.
Well,
Now, was it just me, or because of the fact that we don't see these very often, did they change the look of the trios belt? It
Yeah, a
looks to
little
be
bit.
all silver
They're
and
more
black.
silver now, yeah, instead of gold.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad it wasn't just me.
Yeah.
and I think they're going to give Daddy Ass
One last run.
one last hurrah. We know he would never hold a singles title. Him being with those group, he's never going to hold a tag title. But you could play it off with him holding a trios title with the two young guns holding up the old man. So it works. So yeah, give him one. They're going over Saturday.
Well, and I just thought in the long run down the road, the team to get him off the Claim Daddy S could be a combination of Bullet Club Gold with the guns and either Jay or Juice go over their dad.
It could, or it could be CMFTR.
It could that too.
So there's possibilities there. And if you get CMFTR holding those belts, it makes a lot of sense for the Young Bucks and Kenny to challenge for those belts going to All Out or no, All In. Which one's in London?
All In. It's about a month away. It's a month. Next week will be a month.
Well, I would say All Out because I think we'll get the trilogy of Omega Ospreay at All In. So the next week you could have Kenny in the Bucks versus CMFTR for the trios.
I really hope I'm wrong because I'm really enjoying the MJF Adam Cole a lot, and I want them to just let it go organically as long as they can. But I still think that's your heavyweight feud for All In, Cole and MJF.
Yeah,
Probably.
I hope I'm wrong. I'm with Paul. I hope they win the tag titles and go on a fun little run. But
no.
I mean, if they lose on the 29th, they'll blame each other, and then we'll get our feud for All In.
Yeah, we got to start building for that, I'd say, within the next week. Get a month and build for that. And then, because you got to build for that and All Out at the same time.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It's time to start. I know we always harped on, or I've always harped on the storytelling time.
Mm-hmm.
And I was shocked to see that it's the 29th for the tag team title match, knowing that we're going to have that many shows in between. I'm going, hey, if they appear on those shows and build this matchup, it's perfect. We can build this great match between these four awesome dudes in 10 days.
Yep.
It's perfectly fine. So Tony's been listening to us. He understands. He's like, you know what? You guys are not as dumb as you look.
Just send the check in the mail, Tony. Anytime now.
Yes. Actually, send the check in the mail, Tony, or just send some more. I'll take it. I don't care.
Yeah, that'd be fine.
I'm easy.
Let's see. We can't get it as a group because Tanner's getting paid by that other company, so he screws KOP from getting that AEW check.
I forgot Tanner's Uncle Trips. He's just trying to screw us, isn't he, Paul?
Yep.
Well, hey, Tony, Paul and I will take the check. Don't worry.
That's not good shit, pal. But I do have a question for you guys.
Let's do it.
That's better than a damn quiz.
So, what do you guys want to talk about?
Mr. Cody Rhodes was in his hometown of Atlanta, Georgia, Monday Night Raw. Sold out where the Hawks play. It's not the Phillips Arena. State Farm. There we go. State Farm Center. State Farm Arena, whatever it's called now. It used to be Phillips. Hot crowd, of course. He was in his hometown. Shows his mom there front row. Keeps calling out Brock Lesnar. We see Lesnar's music hits 2 different times. Doesn't come out. Last time, Cody goes up and takes it in his own possession. Goes into Gorilla. Then Brock beats him down with the chair. Hits him with an F5. Gets him in Kimura lock. perfectly executed. Accepts his challenge for Rhodes Lesnar 3 at SummerSlam.
See it, SummerSlam, bitch.
Mm-hmm.
Which there's no stipulation. There's going to be a stipulation coming next week.
It's got to be, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we're 1-1, right?
Yep.
Cody goes over
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
somehow, but I still think we get a Team Rhodes versus a Team Lesnar at Survivor Series.
Here's a stipulation I would like to see, one or two. Either an I Quit match or submission. So either way, if you want to get Cody clear up there on with Reigns level, you get Lesnar to quit or submit, which I don't know the last time Lesnar submitted. It was probably back in 2003. I know he submitted to Kurt Angle and Benoit, I believe. But
Do the I quit. I'm fine with that, but not the submission.
Yeah, I'd rather have that. I think Brock would do the submission before the I Quit.
probably.
Think so?
Yeah. Now, you want to do some crazy fantasy booking for SummerSlam or for Survivor Series?
Yes.
I mean, we're talking off the wall. You're going to be like, wow, you've had way too much Kettle One tonight, Shep. But you have Team Cody versus Team Brock, and out of nowhere, Team Cody, and again, this is completely out of the realm. He brings in Dustin, brings in Omega. He brings in the Buck. You have literally AEW versus WWE with Team Brock and whoever the hell Brock wants to bring. But like, if for somehow you could get this storyline to mesh, that would blow up the universe. That would break the internet.
Yeah, Tony would never sign on that.
What if they said that Cody and those guys would go over?
I don't see him ever signing on that.
If you're Tony Khan going, because we know that Cody's got to go over because everybody, even Uncle Dave says that it's going to be Roman and Cody and Philly, and Cody's going to go over. Okay,
Right.
So you go into Survivor Series and you got to build a Team Cody, knowing that Cody's going to go over. Wouldn't you send your guys in there for a payday?
No, because if they dip their toe in the water and like it with their contracts coming up in December, they go bye-bye, your company's hurting pretty bad.
Nah.
Yeah.
They're not gonna like it compared to the freedom they get.
I don't know.
You'll
have to put up with CM Punk over there.
But could you imagine though, Cody coming out and literally you're gonna hold this secret until Showtime. So
it would break the internet.
Yeah, so Lesnar comes down to the ring and whatever team he assembles, right? I think there's 5 guys in a Survivor Series match, right?
Typically traditional, yeah.
Okay. Here comes Cody. And then all of a sudden Omega hits. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody
the elite.
No, not Omega. So you'd have Dustin go first because that everybody would expect Dustin, right? So you have Dustin come down to the natural music. You're like, oh, okay, all right. And then all of a sudden, you'd have Wayward Son, and here comes the elite. And everybody would shit themselves. Seriously. They wouldn't.
Yeah,
they wouldn't piss themselves. They would shit themselves.
Or you could not have Dustin, throw Hangman in there.
Yeah, I think Dustin would be Dustin. Yeah. Dustin's part of the story.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Dustin's part of the story to cherish his dad, and to complete the story that this whole Cody thing we're on right now. Mm-hmm. So I think you have to, if you're going to cross promote, Dustin's the first guy that comes down.
Which it's interesting you're talking about Cody's story and everything. Peacock's dropping a long-awaited documentary, American Nightmare, story of Cody Rhodes. I think that's the title or something. Becoming Cody Rhodes.
Becoming the Nightmare.
Becoming a Nightmare. Next week on the 31st, and some Select Press got to go yesterday, and people said it was really, really good. They show footage of All In. They show footage of BTE, not necessarily AEW, but BTE, which Matt and Nick and Tony Khan all signed off on. So they told the complete story. And Sean Ross Sapp was saying today, you could kind of tell by the way Cody was talking and everything. He thinks, in his opinion, he always had his sights set on going back to WWE, even when he was in AEW. Because he said from his sense of the documentary, he felt like Cody didn't want to leave the WWE when he did in 2016, but he knew he had to get his career to where he wanted.
Oh, yeah. He said that before multiple times.
I think there's a lot of people in WWE, not solely Vince, but Trips, basically says, all right, go prove yourself. Go get yourself over and then come back. I think that's been said on many talents. And it took what, Cody, 4 or 5 years, right? Came back, and here we go.
I mean, he is the exact character he was in AEW. It's just his
He
character,
wears the same ring gear.
Yeah, his character fits the WWE universe better than the AEW crowd. And we could have a whole podcast on, well, what if he didn't make his non-championship stipulation thing against Jericho? What if the pandemic never happened and the blood and guts match with the Elite and the Inner Circle happens, and maybe he gets in more Elite storylines than the Codyverse? We could go on, but at the end of the day, the crowd just kind of wanted to root against him, and he went elsewhere, and now he is a bigger star, I would say, now in WWE than he would have been if he stayed in AEW.
So Cody's got to be, what, 30?
I think he's 30. I think he just turned 37 or 38.
Okay.
Yeah, Brandy's older than him, which surprised me.
Brandy's 40. I think Cody just turned 38.
Yeah.
So by 45, Cody makes an appearance in AEW.
I hope you're right. I'd love to see him come back for one more run to end it, but we'll see.
I don't know what. I'm sure we can look it up. I'm guessing his contract runs him through 41, 42, 43 years old.
Let me see if I can find it.
While you do that, I do know Cody did say back when I interviewed him that he was looking at maybe another 5 years of wrestling and then he'd be done, and that was 2 years ago, 3 years ago, whatever it's been now.
Yeah, I think a guy like Cody's going to wrestle into his mid to late 40s.
It just says multi-year deal signed in 2022, estimated to be around, well, that's a big gap, $3 to $6 million. That's a big gap.
So let's just say 2022, it's a 5-year deal. Takes him to 2027.
Which he would be 43 at that time.
43. So, I mean, depends on what Connecticut does with him. Depends what Tanner does with him, because Tanner's obviously influence there. I could see him doing a championship run and then going off in the sunset, taking a break, and then making 1 or 2 appearances for AEW and just, hey, I'm 45 years old. I can retire. I'm financially set. I'm semi-healthy. Like,
right.
My body's good for a 45-year-old compared to other 45-year-old. Taking care of his kids, and good for him. Hope it happens that way.
Yeah, he did say this week that he talks to the Bucks pretty regularly, and said no matter if he and the Bucks and Kenny are ever in the ring again, they'll always have that connection for what they started. So, which is pretty cool to hear him, because there was a lot of belief that they had beef. Well, it'll be interesting.
Cody was more of a Walmart guy than a Target guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But it'll be interesting. I think he will go over at 40, and it'll be a great moment. But how we get there after SummerSlam is what I'm interested in. Will he be in a Survivor Series team match, or does he get in a feud with somebody else that I don't even know who that would be.
It's gotta be something big, okay? Freddie Prinze Jr. I don't know what his podcast called or whatever his show's called, but he talked about Cody. And the more I thought about it, like, since Cody didn't go over this last WrestleMania, which I think the majority of us thought he should have, where the crowd was, the momentum he had. So you're going to build him up for a whole year. You got to have some really, really big surprises to keep that storyline going. So the storyline doesn't get bland.
Right. Right.
You know, one of them, obviously, going over a Survivor Series and then having some type of team event. I'm sorry, SummerSlam, then having some type of team event at Survivor Series. And then you got to figure out what to do with him at Royal Rumble.
Yeah, does Solo or somebody cost him? You know?
The only thing I can think of is you have Cody coming in the Royal Rumble, and whoever cost him the Rumble match, you have him at, is it
Chamber?
Vengeance? No, not
Elimination
Vengeance.
Chamber, isn't it? Chamber?
Chamber.
Anyways, whatever it is. I don't know. Again, that's why I think you have just an absolute banger of a Survivor Series. Again, I know I'm completely going out and left field, right field times 47 to have Dustin and the Elite show up, but I mean, could you imagine? What do you think a WWE crowd would pop if the Elite's music, if the Wayward Son song would pop?
Oh, huge. Just like they did for Cody. They could trash talk him all they want when they're in AEW one. Once one of the big boys jumped over, look what the reaction was. It's huge.
It'd blow the roof off the place.
Huge.
Again, that's like the most weird fantasy booking we can get, but
So here's kind of a fantasy booking going back in retro speaking. You know, the invasion angle, which they botched really, really bad. WWE and WCW. It all started with a Lance Storm super kick. If you could have replaced that moment with somebody else from WCW, how would have you guys and take the contracts out of consideration? Say everybody was available. I know a lot of guys were sitting at home. How would you have started the invasion angle? Like with what talents in WCW?
You didn't like Lance Storm?
Lance Storm's a great worker, but that's not a lot of bang for your buck there.
He couldn't talk worth a shit. Sorry, Lance. And I like Lance.
Yeah.
Go for it, Paul.
I'm trying to think, man.
I know how I started.
Because the thing is, like, I don't even remember that. So,
Well, I wasn't watching at the time, but it was 01. I've watched.
Were you even born yet?
Barely. Barely. And a lot of guys didn't come into like Goldberg didn't come into 03 when his contract was done. You know, they brought Hall, Nash, and Hogan in as the NWO, but that was 02. I would have Sting drop from the rafters and just hold the bat out at somebody. That's how I would have started it. Just couldn't get more at WCW than Sting.
Right.
Yeah.
If I remember, Sting was so anti-WWE, and he took a little bit of a break, and that's why he went to TNA, right?
Right. He did not want to work.
He wanted nothing to do with Stamford, Connecticut.
I like Bajan's answer. He would have built it around DDP and Sting, which DDP did go to WWE. It just they blew it with them big time.
Yeah.
Didn't know how to use them.
And no offense to DDP, obviously a great human being if you've seen what he's done over the last 10 years. But he got in the wrestling game way too late. Well,
in his 40s.
He started, before that, he was a manager / valet. But
Sting holding the bat out Taker would have been a good way.
Yeah. Be all right.
Or just, I don't know, if you would have DDP hit a diamond cutter, or I know you guys hate him, but at that time he was real big. Goldberg hit a spear, or even, or Nash hit a jackknife. I don't know. Something they could have done so much better. Majin says Sting was anti-WWE because of how they used ex-WCW guys. He didn't trust that they'd use them well, and he was right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Trips went over him at WrestleMania 31, and then, unfortunately, the Buckle Bomb happened Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Which was tough to watch. I remember watching that live. That was tough to watch.
Hadn't slowed Sting down in AEW, though.
No, he's done pretty well. He's done a lot better than I thought he would. He's worked
done a lot of
I would say he's worked a safe style, but the last time we saw him, I thought he just broke his jaw. So
I think Sting's done a lot of stupid shit.
Yes, he has.
For his age, but
yes, he has.
Even one of them was the cinematic matches he had back in the day. But
Yep. You guys got anything else you want to talk about or discuss?
I don't tonight.
I'm just glad my Wi-Fi kept up this last half of the show.
We're lucky.
Very lucky.
Just for you, Tanner, we're lucky.
Very lucky.
You might have rewatched this tomorrow and heard some things that you didn't want to hear. So
I'm sure I will, because I will put it up audio and of course it's already out there in the video world, so it's all good.
Oh no, I mean if you wouldn't have been able to join us, we didn't say too much while just that we're in a little hick town and you live in the big city, and yet we stayed with internet and you lost it twice.
Yeah.
Yeah, usually I'm not the one having internet problems, but
no, it's normally me. That's why when it froze, I was like, all right, here we go again. And then I wasn't seeing anything. The timer still kept going, and Majin's like, nope, it was Tanner. And I'm like, oh, thank God.
So real quick, I don't know if you guys been watching the daily updates from the G1 over in Japan.
I saw Kingston lost.
Kingston won one and lost one.
He lost to Evil. How did they let that happen?
But I don't know if you saw his first match in the press conference after his first match.
That's what I do.
Really good. I don't think Eddie Kingston's obviously going to win the G1, right?
Right.
But I think Eddie Kingston's going to be in a position where he's in the finals, like the talk of the finals. I could see him winning his block. Let's put it that way. If he wins the block, I think that's a huge, huge accolade to Eddie Kingston.
Absolutely.
He fits the New Japan style. His promos are just stupid good, stupid emotional. So
he loves it.
And even talking about winning and losing, Ospreay lost a match already in the G1. He went 1-1. So here we are, 4 days in, 5 days in, and you got Ospreay, which I would consider one of the top stars. Kingston, one of the top stars, even though he's from America. These guys are 1-1. So,
no, I totally agree. And speaking of somebody that wrestles a lot in Japan, I'm still frustrated that Archer didn't go over at Battle of the Belts.
I thought he was going to.
And Archer is over in Japan, but he's not over in America. I don't understand it.
Yeah, he got heat with the crowd because Jake wanted to hit the DDT, and Lance like,
Yeah. But
that Battle of the Belts, man, I don't even know why I watched, because I knew what it was going to be. It's the same thing every time. Every time.
In my opinion, Battle of the Belts was probably the worst one yet.
Yeah, that was...
It was lackluster, to say the least, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep. Can't come off of a hot collision and go straight into crap.
And one last thing I want to mention, Tony Khan did say today he'll be breaking some news about how to watch All In soon, which Andrew Zarian's saying it's going to be BR Live, but Tony didn't agree or disagree with that. But Tony did say it will be live in the afternoon, in America on the 27th. So,
And then we did have, completely off the subject, we did have a random heelish QT Marshall going over Penta in an ambulance match in AAA.
with the help of Aaron Solo.
The reason we know that guy is because he dated Bailey. I think I've said that 100 times, right?
Correct. Yeah, that was a crazy match though. Light tubes and barbed wire and
It
all
was-
sorts of stuff.
Not what I expected. Like, I've seen some matches in AAA where they've got some tables out. You know, they've done some spots in the back of a truck bed. To see the light tubes and the aggression those guys used to hit the light tubes, like, I did not expect QT Marshall to get hit with light tubes, but he did multiple times. It was different.
I think he probably earned some respect from pro wrestling fans, but he gets used so differently in AEW. I
That's
don't know
the
if they did
problem.
much for him.
I thought he worked really well. I'm sick of watching some AAA matches. I'm sick of Penta. Like, Penta always wants to bleed, but the only way he can bleed is if he rips his mask.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like he does that a lot. I'm just saying.
And did I see correctly? Phoenix kind of said goodbye to AAA for the time being. He put on Twitter.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I mean, Vikingo went over Omega
Penny.
clean.
Yep.
Clean.
Which he needed to.
Yeah. Then Don Callis gets attacked by the photographer at the end, which I think is hilarious.
And he hurts himself.
They mentioned that tonight on Dynamite. If you paid attention, they said something about he was vulnerable, and he said, "Yeah, it was very traumatic."
Yeah. Like, I watched there was a video that was released, and Don was just like pissed. Like,
Oh yeah.
what are you doing? And this guy looked like he was in fog. Like,
Yep.
his headlights were not working. So
That's some 70s heat there.
yeah. when the photographer attacks you, it's not good.
No.
So you did your job.
Yep.
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 But I guess that's our random little rant from the
Yep.
non AEW side.
Yep.
The indie side.
The indie side.
All right, boys, we ready to wrap this thing?
Yep.
All right, well, be sure to check out kickingoutshop.com for all of your Kicking Out podcast merchandise. Support of a great podcast. Look fantastic doing so. And Shep, there is a glass on Kicking Out Shop that you need to order. I'm telling you.
All right.
You got to look at this thing. It is nice. And it'll hold your drink every podcast, too.
You think vodka would fit in it?
Yeah. Order 2 just to be on the safe side, get you through the entire podcast.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Be sure to follow the Kicking Out podcast on all social media at Kicking Out Pod. Be sure to listen to the Kicking Out podcast wherever it is you listen to your podcast. And if that happens to be Apple Podcast, leave us that 5-star review because we are 5-star KOP. Be sure to follow Austin Shepard on all social media at TheShep27. Follow your KOP predictions champion Tanner Lee at TannerLee92. And follow myself at Paul Zartman921. And with that, for Austin Shepard and Tanner Lee, I'm Paul Zartman. Join us again next week as we kick out yet another podcast.